Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Boxiest, and today we are going to continue the What If series. What if events had gone differently? And in this What If, we're going to change the history of Cobra Kai. What if Cobra Kai Multiverse, Part 4. So in this timeline, Kreese and Mike Barnes would be training their students. They would continue training them in the No Mercy philosophy. This is when the Cobra Kai Mr. Miyagi would come into the dojo. Mike Barnes and Kreese would be surprised. Kreese would be angry to see Mr. Miyagi. Mr. Miyagi would say that he can make their students unstoppable, but Kreese wouldn't want to hear it. He would still hate Mr. Miyagi, so he would get some of the other senseis to fight Mr. Miyagi. So the senseis would surround Mr. Miyagi, but Mr. Miyagi would fight them off, and he would show no mercy. Mike Barnes would be impressed. This is when Kreese would jump in, and he would want to fight Mr. Miyagi, but Mr. Miyagi would easily take Kreese down. Mr. Miyagi would approach Mike Barnes, and Mike Barnes would ask how he was still alive. Mr. Miyagi would explain that he was from a different universe, and that his plan was to form the best Cobra Kai dojo in the multiverse, and he would ask Mike Barnes if he was willing to join him. And since Mike Barnes owned the majority share of Cobra Kai in this universe, he would agree. So Mr. Miyagi and Mike Barnes would team up, and they would kick Kreese out of Cobra Kai. Kreese would feel betrayed, and he would be angry, so Kreese would go visit Terry Silver, and he would tell him everything that happened. But Terry Silver would say that Mike Barnes owned the majority of Cobra Kai, and there was nothing he could do. Cobra Kai would already be the biggest dojo in the world in this timeline. Meanwhile, in a different universe, the students of Miyagi Fang would still be detaining Bully Miguel and the rest of his friends. Miyagi-Do Kyler would approach his bully self. Miyagi-Do Kyler would tell him that if he's anything like he was, he knows what he's been dealing with. He would say that Miyagi-Do helped him change, and that maybe Miyagi-Do can help him as well. They could show him a better way. But Bully Kyler wouldn't want to listen to anyone. The senseis of Miyagi Fang would be having a meeting. This is when both Mike Barnes would approach them. The younger Mike Barnes would apologize to everyone. He would say that he was angry and that he was manipulated by Mr. Miyagi. And he would reveal that Mr. Miyagi's plan was to make Cobra Kai the biggest dojo in the multiverse. Daniel would be surprised and he would be angry. The younger Mike Barnes would say that his older self has taught him a lot of things and that he showed him that he can be better. Mike Barnes would say that they needed to prepare, that knowing Mr. Miyagi, he would want to gather the best Cobra Kai fighters in the multiverse. Mike Barnes would suggest they do the same thing, gather the best Miyagi-Do fighters in the multiverse. Chosen would agree with Mike Barnes' plan. Mike Barnes would offer to teach their students everything that he knows. Since he was Mr. Miyagi's best student, Daniel would realize that he had no choice and that they needed to stop Mr. Miyagi. So Daniel would agree to let Mike Barnes train their students. So Mike Barnes would approach the Miyagi Fang students, including Miyagi-Do Kyler. He would say that he was going to teach them how to master their offense and defense. He would say that he was going to push them beyond their limits, and that they were going to beg for mercy. Mike Barnes would explain that in his universe, Mr. Miyagi trained him in the way that him and Sato were trained, and that Mr. Miyagi didn't hold back, and that he also applied military tactics that he learned. He would say that he was also trained in Tang Soo Do, and he was shown to show no mercy. So the Miyagi Fang students would start their training. Another portal would start to open. Daniel, Johnny, and Chosen would be ready to walk through to see if they could find some more Miyagi-Do fighters. So Daniel, Johnny, and Chosen would walk through the portal. Meanwhile, in a different universe, Mr. Miyagi and Mike Barnes would continue training their students, and many portals would start to open, and lots of Cobra Kai variants would walk out. And that is where I'm going to end part 4. Thank you guys for watching. In what universe do you think Daniel, Johnny, and Chosen will end up? Let me know in the comments below. YouTube lets me know that the majority of you are not subscribed, so if you guys could subscribe, that would be much appreciated. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. And I'll see you guys next time.